Hey everyone, this is Kareem, and today I'm going to show you how to do a gradient pinch effect in Sony Vegas, which is the effect you just saw in the intro. I'm pretty sure most of you won't be too familiar with this effect and how it's done, but today I'm going to show you how to do that. So the first thing you want to do is just put your video in any audio. If you're practicing it for the first time, then I wouldn't suggest trying to synchronize it to music, but when it comes time to actually use this effect in a video, it must be synchronized to the music, otherwise it's just completely pointless. So, in this case, when I'm synchronizing it to the music, I just want to go to where the effect's going to start and where I want the effect to end. I'm going to add a marker where it's going to start by simply pressing the M key, and go to where it's going to end and press the M key once again. Markers are very effective when you're doing videos, and I would highly recommend them, and I'd suggest you use them, especially for synchronizing. If you're not going to synchronize, never mind that step. So now I'm going to go to the next step, and I'm going to right click my video, go to video event pan / crop, and if you're like me and your video panning tool isn't meeting the edges of the video itself, you want to fix that. So I have a preset for this, and I'm just going to go click the preset, but you might have to manually get the panning tool to meet the edges of your video. So I'm going to exit that window, and now that I've done that, I'm going to go to my first marker, or you can go wherever you want this effect to start. Split right where you want the effect to start. So it's going to actually be a still image, so make sure the image isn't blurry at all. So I'm going to split. Once you've split, you're actually going to save a snapshot. So before you save it, you want to make sure your preview window is in best half. I'm pretty sure that if it's in draft half, it's going to end up being a low quality image, so put it in best half and save the snapshot to the file by clicking this floppy disk right here, and I'll just call it pinch effect. And now it's in my project media. I'm just going to drag it up into the storyboard, and now it's behind both videos, and I don't want that. I want it to be between those two markers. So I'm just going to drag this second video clip out of the way. I'm going to put the little image right there, and I'm going to drag it inward so that it's the same length it's the length that I want it. And then I'm going to take this video clip and put it right back to where it was, well, behind the image. And now I want to go to video event pan / crop for the image, and you'll notice that when you save an image, it will usually take the bars or restore the size of the pan, and I just want to make it so that the pan meets the edges of the image. So I'm gonna unlock the aspect ratio by clicking here. I'm just gonna drag downward so that only the top and the bottom of the panning tool are moving. And there we go. So now that I've done that, I'm just going to close this window, and we're actually going to start working on the effect. So the first effect I'm going to apply is the pinch / punch effect, which is an effect I'm pretty sure not too many of you have used. So click the effect and then go to reset to none and drag it inward. Just for future reference, a pinch squeezes the video image in towards the center, and a punch expands it out from its center, and it's actually very similar to the spherize effect, but it's just a bit of a sharper distortion, so that's what we want for this effect. So I'm going to go to keep the first keyframe the same here, right? And then you want to go add a keyframe around the end. You don't want to put it right to the end, otherwise you won't be able to see what the effect's doing to your video. So I'm going to make the amount, in my case, -0.8, and I'm going to make the horizontal scaling 0.750. And there we go. So now, if you can see the video preview, it's pinched inward, but that's just the start of what I want. So now I'm going to go to video event pan / crop for the image, and I'm going to add a keyframe near the end once again so that I can see what's going on, and I'm going to lock the aspect ratio now and just zoom in slightly, and then tilt whatever way you want. So I'm going to tilt to the left. When you tilt, make sure that this panning tool isn't coming off the border of your video. Otherwise, you're going to have these black edges on your in your video, and it just looks really sloppy. So I'm going to make sure it doesn't come out of the border. It's just like that. Maybe zoom it in a bit more. And then I'm going to make sure I take that keyframe right to the end again. And I'm actually going to do the same for the pinch, because I forgot to do it. Just take it to the end. And then once I've done that, I want to apply the last effect for this gradient pinch, which is the gradient part of it. So I'm going to go to the gradient map effect, and gradient map is just something that maps the colors of your video to the color of the gradient that you're specifying, and in this case we're going to put a black gradient. So I'm going to take the reset to none gradient map, apply it to the image, and I'm just going to make the first keyframe, just keep it the same. Go to the end of the keyframe bar, and I'm going to make it black. So see this little cursor here? You want to put it right to the bottom, and then make sure your transparency on alpha is 100%. And I'm just going to exit out, and when I play that back, well, I don't even think you could really see it, but it zooms in and it finishes. It's hard to see, but it will be exactly like it was in the intro, and that's basically it. Your very last step would be minimizing this little track bar right here so that the video is a bit more magnified, and then you're just going to put the slightest fade, crossfade, onto the two clips, the image and the clip. So there it is, just so it's a bit smoother when it's going from the zoom back to the real clip. So I put the crossfade, and if you can't crossfade, along this bar up here, you want to make sure that automatic crossfades is actually like highlighted. So if it's not highlighted, your video will just go on top of the other video, and that's not what you want. So just put automatic crossfades and fade them over each other. And that's how you do the gradient pinch effect. I'm sorry I haven't been making too many tutorials lately. I've been really busy with school, and it's just been hectic lately. So I'm going to try to put a couple more out within the next couple of weeks, and hopefully you like this tutorial, and please subscribe. Thanks. Peace.